Let's call this meeting to order and let's have roll call, please.
Jerza. Osterloop.
Here.
Genslinger.
Here.
Sonny.
Here.
Penny.
Here.
Schmitz.
Here.
Rocher.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. I understand we have a new member, John Schmidt. Welcome aboard to our little group here. We usually don't have this many people showing up for meetings, so
They all came to see you.
they all came to see you.
I would say get your microphone close to you, make sure it's turned on because people.
I'm not intimidated.
There's people that listen online as well, so it gets broadcast on YouTube. You want to give a little history of yourself, if you would, please?
Sure. My name is John Schmitz. I'm married to Christine Schmitz. She's a former teller at Wells Fargo Bank. You've probably seen her there. My wife and I moved to Mitchell in '94, and we've been here ever since. We have 4 children spread all around the country. All have graduated and are now living out their adult lives, hopefully, free from mom and dad. I work with Pitts Corporation, and I've done so for 29 years. So my background has been in construction, and with any luck, I'll finish in construction.
All right, thank you. Understand that this is the first regular meeting after the municipal election, et cetera, et cetera. We need to elect some officers. So the offices are chairman of the Planning Commission and a vice chairman of the Planning Commission. We will now open the slate for nomination of a chairman.
I'll nominate Jay Larson to continue if he so chooses.
Do we second that?
Are there further nominations? Are there further nominations?
I hear you don't want to continue.
I am willing to continue if you're willing to have me.
You
So
just has to say it 3 times.
I have to say it 3 times. Are there any further nominations? If not, we are open for a motion to cast unanimous ballot.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that nominations cease and that a unanimous ballot be cast for the current chairperson. Their discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. We do not need a roll call on this, do we?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion is carried. Now we need the election, a nomination for a vice chairman of this organization.
I'll make a motion to nominate Kevin Gens as vice president, or chairman.
It has been moved that Kevin be nominated as a vice chairman. Are there any other motions or nominations?
Mr. Osterloo, are you interested?
That's why I nominated Kevin right away.
Just making sure.
I got the first, I barely wanted to get in Jay's. No, I think Kevin would be a great vice chairperson. If he don't, well, good luck, Kevin.
Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? The call has been made 3 times. Now we are ready for a motion to close nominations and cast unanimous ballot. Do I hear that motion?
I'll make the motion. Oh, second.
Been moved and seconded that nominations cease and a unanimous ballot be cast. Is there discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
John, just for your information, we have a city council member sitting on this board that listens to us and sometimes participates in our discussions. He is a non-voting member. State statute requires that no member of the Planning Commission be a member of the City Council. However, a number of years ago, we as a Planning Commission suggested that, and I think it was Bud Williams was mayor at the time, that we have someone from the council sit among us to hear our discussions and to participate in them if they so choose. That's our prerogative. And we have been blessed with some good people coming from the council to listen to us and participate in discussion as appropriate. So, Mr. Dozier, I'm sure you're going to be reappointed. Is that correct? We don't know yet. It's up to the mayor. And we appreciate.
Yeah, John was reappointed at the last meeting, so he'll be here another year.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to have somebody on the council sit with us and discuss things with us. Okay, there is an agenda that has been provided to us.
Conflicts of interest?
Is there any conflicts of interest at this time? Hearing none, let's move on to the agenda itself. Do I hear a motion to approve as presented?
Second.
Moved and seconded that the agenda be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The minutes of the meeting of the 27th of June were provided in the handout. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Make motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is something that we call the blanket. That is to schedule the next meeting. Usually we have a meeting every 2 weeks, John. On Mondays. Sometimes it has to change because of holidays, etc. But usually it's the council will meet on a Monday and we'll meet the next Monday, and then they'll meet and so on. So, tentative schedule should be the 25th of July.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the blanket for the next meeting be set at the 25th of July. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a conditional use for Vanderhom Motorsports at 2951 South Raleigh Street. Vanderhom Motorsports has applied for a conditional use permit to operate an automotive repair service facility located at 2951 South Raleigh, legally described as Lot 7 of Iverson's Addition in the southeast quarter of Section 23, T103 North, Range 60 West of the 5th parallel meridian, Davison County, South Dakota. The said property is zoned as urban development. And John, just for your information, urban development is a zoning anomaly, probably in Mitchell. According to Arvid Brown, who was the historian when I came on this board, it was an easy way to allow things that are out there to stay there. And it is supposed to be an indicator of what's growing towards that area. Whether it has or not, it's been a sore spot for this commission and for the council for several years. Mark, have you got anything else to add to it?
Yes, so this is outside the city limits, but it's within the 1 mile, so it's the ETJ, so it's urban development. We received a complaint that business was being ran at this location. A certified letter was sent to them after investigation, finding that there was a business being there, to cease or apply for a conditional use permit, which it is a conditional use under our zoning ordinance. So they have applied for that. You had one letter in your packet that was against it. I placed some other letters in front of you this morning that didn't make the packet, stating their reasons why they do not approve of it. There is a restrictive covenant out on that piece of property. This board or the council do not have any authority over covenants at all. That would be a civil matter. The applicant is here if you have any questions for them at all.
Mr. Applicant, would you like to talk to us?
Sure. My name's Dustin Vanderhom.
Mike.
My name's Dustin Vanderham. Vanderham Motorsports, in general, I just try and work on Harley Davidsons, and I'm just doing it part-time. I'm not trying to be a big business, a huge business or anything. I hold a full-time job here in town in Thirsties, so I just trying to do this on the side. And I thought I applied for everything, and I didn't know I was inside the zoning thing. And I'm trying to do everything correctly and legally, so.
All right, thank you. Does
Yep.
anyone on the commission have a question about?
Yeah, how long have you been doing this out there already?
I just recently acquired a tire machine and just started trying to gain business. I work on my own stuff all the time.
Does some of the neighbors know that you were doing this already, and or you did this pretty quietly type deal? So.
That's just it. I normally just work on my own stuff. I normally don't work on other people's stuff.
Well, I
have-
just wanted to know if
Yep.
there was going to be any other complaints that.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Where are the operations taking place? Is it inside or outside?
It's inside, in the shop out back.
That shop in the back one?
Yep. I mainly just do motorcycle tires and service, because I got a motorcycle tire machine.
But once we approve this, you could be doing a lot more though, correct?
Possibly, yes, but mainly just work on Harleys.
Any other questions for this gentleman? If not, thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else have a comment or question that they would like to ask us? All right, folks, it's up to us.
Mark, you mentioned the covenants,
Yep.
and your statement was?
We do not have any authority with the covenants. That goes specifically to civil.
So even if we approve it, the covenants can but then they have to take that to.
Correct. They would have to take that into their own hands and go through the legal system with that.
Other questions?
But these covenants are in the law.
They're not law. They're just what's written with the land. When they purchase the land or something like that, that's what they bought at that time. It's filed at the registered, it might be filed at the registered deeds, it might not. I did not find these at the registered deeds. So it's more like, title, it goes with your title work, but it's not code or South Dakota law.
Yep, the best way to look at it is it's not part of our ordinance, so the city doesn't enforce it.
Are there other questions or comments?
Well, I don't see, if he's working in the shop way back there, I don't see anything. That's a bad deal. But if he grows, he grows, you know. I guess maybe then he could move it someplace, but we have no control of that, because once we bless this, we bless it, so.
Is that a motion to approve?
Oh, sure, I'll make the motion to approve it.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
It
Well,
has
we
been
have to
moved-
have, excuse me, we have to have a second in order to go further with it, because we cannot deny it. So the only way is, again, John, you probably didn't know that, but we were told or informed that when we make a motion, we do not make a motion to deny it, we make a motion to approve it, but we vote no on it. So basically, we have to vote.
You make
To
a
move
motion
on.
in the positive because it's cleaner that way. If you so choose to vote against, you can do that. Even the person that makes the motion to approve can still vote against it. It's just better to make motions in the positive. We try and follow Robert's Rules of Order for everything. We don't follow them 100%. We try to follow them as much as possible. And for conditional uses and variances, we are just making recommendations to the Board of Adjustment, which is the City Council. It's this Board of Adjustment.
And
They
this
have
is-
the final say.
And this is coming from the gentleman sitting back there behind the mayor that's got his red shirt on. We try not to let them talk too much. All right, it's been moved and seconded that we recommend approval to the council of this conditional use. Is there discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Chairman's prerogative, let's go roll call.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Penny,
Yes.
Schmitz,
Yes.
Larson.
Yep.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Item number 10. Hearing and recommendation on ordinance 2022-10, changing zoning from Lake Residential to South Lake Estates Planned Unit Development, as requested by CJM Consulting Incorporated, and we have a notice there that says it's been withdrawn. My understanding is that the applicant has decided that it's in the best interest of the property not to go to a planned development unit. And I see the applicant here. Mr. Macheski, do you have anything to add?
I'm Chuck Mashesky of CJM. Yes, we do wish to withdraw the PUD, and that's all I have to say for now.
All right, thank you. Mark?
No action needs to be taken from.
No action needs to be taken on this issue. Is there any other business to come before the board at this time?
Hi, my name is Chris Wazorek. I live at 92 South Harmon Drive. This is slightly related to the South Lake Estates, but I'd like to bring it up as something just to let our voice be heard regarding this. I've lived there at 92 South Harmon Drive for about over 4 years now. I live there with my wife and 3 kids. Our 3 kids are under the age of 7. My daughter just completed kindergarten at Gertie Bell. We love our neighborhood there, great neighbors. We're very welcomed and cared for there. I live at the corner of South Harmon and the gravel road that leads to Indian Head Park. We bought that home from the Williams family back in 2018. I live across that gravel road from the Owens family, who have been nothing but kind and considerate to us. We've really appreciated their friendship and being neighbors with them. I wanted to share our perspective on this development here and what it means for my family and myself. My wife and I, we live with no debt except for our mortgage, and that's kind of been our personal choice. My wife stays at home with the kids as a full-time job for her. So we are a one-income family. We have not had any problems with make sure that we pay our taxes on time. Our taxes have increased quite a bit in the last 4 years, which is kind of a trend that we've seen from other families as well. That gravel road that leads to the park is very low traffic, low noise. It's very functional for our use. We really like that it's a safe, quiet neighborhood for our kids to play in and be at the park just a couple blocks away. We learned that this plot of land that wants to be developed was bought and is now being planned to be developed. And we weren't really sure what that meant for us personally, but now that we've seen that there are plans to curb and gutter that road, that gravel road that leads to the park, as well as bring around that side and run parallel to South Harmon there. So I've been told that they were trying to keep the cost as low as possible, which we appreciate. The number that we've been told is $42,000, but the TIF that they've applied for will reduce that in half. That is something that we really appreciate. However, that is still a large chunk of money for our family to absorb. We know that that road is functional for our use. That doesn't mean that means the city needs to make improvements on it. We understand the ordinance that is on the books. We get all that. What I would like to make sure you guys understand is that amount of money that is being assessed or will be assessed, and that we don't even know what the final amount will be yet. And at that point, it's probably too late for any sort of negotiation or anything like that. I guess what I wanted to say is that that is a burdensome amount for us as a family, and it puts us in a position where we have a serious possibility of having to either sell the home or try to absorb that cost in a way that will make us pay more over the long run by either a loan or interest and things like that. So I guess what I want to try to say is that we understand the stipulations that are put on us and what that means, but in this case, I believe that ordinance that requires the homeowner the lot adjacent to any road improvements is overly broad, and in a lot of cases it's overly burdensome, especially for someone that we're trying to live in a neighborhood that we really enjoy, and I think the people that are around us would vouch for us for that, and that the people that they want to build homes out there on those lots we're that kind of people that keep our lots clean. We're good neighbors, and we are investing in the future of the Mitchell by having our kids grow up here and live here. And I would just appreciate you guys listening to me and being sharing in my perspective of that. I'm not asking for any action on your part today. Obviously, I know that's not the case. I just appreciate you guys listening and hearing my perspective on this entire thing. I do want to make sure that I put out there that we would like as much information as possible, as soon as possible, because that helps us to be able to make informed decisions. But I will say that assessment being put on us by somebody else's decision to buy the land and develop it, which I understand, I want that development. It's just that makes our decision harder, because we want to stay in the neighborhood that we're in, and the market, obviously, as you guys know, is a difficult market to be in for looking for new housing or dealing with inflation and all those other factors. That's pretty much all that I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. We have not been privileged to any information as far as a TIF that has been discussed the way we understand it here as Planning Commission, but we have not seen any of the 2s and 4s of it. So hopefully it'll work out. Anybody else got any comments?
Hi, I'm Dale Odegaard, and I just got one question. On this zoning issue, it's been changed a couple times now, and my question is, can this zoning pop up again in a month, 2 months, and we start all over, or is it a dead deal for an amount of time? What's the laws on zoning?
There is no limits on when a PDU can come before us, but I would assume that the developer has decided he doesn't want to have a PDU, that you probably won't see it. That plat has been made, and development is going to occur out there, PDU or not. The lots are larger than they were before when it was replatted here about, 6 weeks ago maybe? And that's been approved by the council, and I believe the county's they don't have any control over it, but I believe it's been sent to the Register of Deeds office already, so it's a done deal as far as the platting goes. And it's up to the developer to do what he needs to do in that.
Well, yeah, I understand it's going to stay RL, but my understanding is, can this come back in a month and he decide to go PUD again?
It certainly could.
Okay, thank you.
Because it was not, because no action has been taken on it, and it's not approved or disapproved. If it was disapproved, you'd have to wait 6 months to do it again. But since it's not that stage, you can bring it back again. And you will all get notice again, if it were to be.
But it's only the residents within 140 feet, correct? Not the lakeside residents?
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, anybody gets notice of it by the paper and the postings out on the site.
All right, any other further business to come before this body at this time? If not, it's time for public input. If you need to address the City Planning Commission on an item that was not on the agenda, excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium, state your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. Seeing none, we are adjourned.